Hi, everyone. Welcome to Scrawl's Welcome Session Week. This is the last day of our sessions where we'll be highlighting different councils, interest groups, committees, representatives in terms of what initiatives do they have going on. And so hopefully that you will find something that makes your heart smile and you'll decide to share your gift in that space. And so what's essentially going to happen in this session, we have different members that are going to talk about what they have been up to in terms of the different groups that they are engaged with. And so to get us started, I'm going to pass it on over to Vernita Perkins of Early Career Interest Group.
Okay, hello everyone. As Amber said, I'm Dr. Vernita Perkins. I'm with the chair of the Early Career Interest Group, along with my co-chairs, Cherie Bielecki and Jordan Tackett-Russell. I just put in the chat our Early Career Interest Group page, on which we have a lot of information. So when you go to the page, you'll get an overview of what we do, our primary goals, a lot of information about joining. We also have a contributing author template for the community psychologist. So every other group feel welcome to use it or have your members use it. It's just a nice template that we set up to help us make sure that we stay within the guidelines of TCP and do that from the beginning. And then we also have information about writing, research, and leadership on that page. So the Early Career Interest Group got a restart in 2019. And at that time, we decided that we would ask the members what they wanted. And we have approximately, I think to date, about 400 something members. And at the time it was social support. So we worked on social support, but as we moved through that in 2020, we started realizing that people needed something more. So as an early career myself, I thought, okay, we need to start asking people what they need. And we came up with clearly that, and I know that a lot of times people are early career who are in a bunch of other interest groups and they never kind of get around to there. So this is a great opportunity today for me to remind everybody that we do have an early career group that we meet once a month, all through the summer, throughout the year. I'm unrelenting in my commitment to making meetings happen, and then we use that opportunity now to work on the past year. Last year we did Decolonized Professional Development series, which we gave people an opportunity to see how community psychology doesn't have like one or two pathways, it has multiple pathways. We talked about collaborating in research and practice and academy. So we just want to open up people's minds to the multitude of ways that you can express as a community psychologist and as a psychologist. And then this year we spent time working on, building out those career pathways and looking at publishing. And I know in academy, the saying we all hate is publish or perish, but there's a big move now amongst the psychology field to get our research out there, to get our information out there. So the community psychologist is a great way, communitypsychology.com. But we also want people to just strengthen that skill as writers. You can write for the public, you can write for policy, you can write op-eds. I co-author community psychology, Psychology Today blog. There's a lot of different ways. So we focused on that this year, having people learn how to be co-authors, how to do peer review, how to do editing, and then also how to see the process of publishing so that you can see the full arc that can sometimes take 3 years when you're doing a top 5 journal, right, or a top 10 journal, but we kind of condensed it down to our quarterlies. So everybody was available to get involved in that. And then the rest of the year, we're going to be focusing on our speaker series, which is bringing in 3 decolonized professional development speakers to talk about specific topics, which we'll be making a big advertisement promoting throughout the Scrawl listserv. And then the last 3 months are going to be focused on early career members themselves having an opportunity to present for honorariums, because it's super important, again, that as early careers, we understand that there are a multitude of ways for us to do our careers. And my practice, or the way that I, have coached and consulted clients and mentors is to actually get you to do it, then it sticks, right? So we can talk about being compensated for our skills and our expertise, but when you actually physically do it in a safe space like we've created in the early career interest group, boom. And so we'll be supporting our members in doing that, and then we'll have other speakers come in so they can see how the pros do it. So that's the plan. We also have the U-BIPOC research database, URD, and that is designed for everyone to participate in that. It's not just for underrepresented BIPOC or BIPOC, but especially if you have unique methodologies, right? Or that you're working in a unique space or a nuanced space of research or academy or practice that we never hear about. So we're asking that people APA cite themselves and then go fill out the form and list, so that they can get in the database. And so people can start citing you and looking at your research. Then we also have research summary videos, which I'm finally going to have some time myself to actually do the sample so people can see, but it's a way to do a 1 to 2 minute video of yourself telling what you're doing. And then we want to, Amber and I are coordinating how to post that on either YouTube or try to have a archive channel so that people can go and see what research you're doing and see you in your own words talking about it. So that's a lot of what we're doing in, or some of the many things we're doing in early career. We welcome everyone. We are welcoming from high school students all the way through to 10 years past your last degree, because you're in early career until you have your last degree, right? So anytime, any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer those. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. Our next meeting will be the Friday after the Labor Day holiday. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Vernita. And next we have Aaron Baker.
Thank you, Amber. Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Baker. I am one of the student representatives. I sit on as a student representative on the executive committee. There are two student representatives at all times. We serve for 2-year terms, and I am entering my second year in this role. One of the major things that we do as student representatives is trying to promote involvement opportunities for student members. And so this is a slide that we've created that just kind of introduces students to the different opportunities to get involved within the organization. And we present this during one of our monthly events that we call the Student Representative Monthly, which we will be starting up soon in September, likely. And it's just an opportunity for students to get together and engage with each other in community. There's no real large agenda or anything like that for those meetings. It's just a welcome space for students. But we kind of go over this as a primer for those who maybe are new members to the organization or are looking for a refresh on what opportunities exist. As I mentioned, there are 2 student representatives. We work to advocate for student concerns on the executive committee. And like I said, increase student involvement. Our outgoing student representative presented this morning, Jessica Salcedo. They've been serving for the last 2 years, and so we are really excited to wish them the best on their journey moving forward. And then our new student representative, Raquel Rose, is starting now in their role, and we're really excited to welcome them to the executive committee and to the student rep group and collaborating in the work that we do as student representatives. I also wanted to just walk through some of the resources that are on our website for those that haven't had a chance to familiarize yourselves with the student pages. If you go to the scrawl27.org homepage and go to who we are and to students, you're going to be able to find a good summary of the different activities that we have going on and resources. We have our student listserv. It is a Google group. APA also has a Division 27 listserv for students that we have discontinued using, as being a member of SCRAW does not require being a member of APA. And so our SCRAW 27 listserv, that's a Google group, is more inclusive of all student members of this organization. We just have some links to some upcoming conferences, some information about publications. We do have a student issues column in the Community Psychologist that the student representatives, we are editors for that column. We are trying to kind of theme some of our columns. So if you have some ideas over the next year that you'd like to that fall under some of these themes, please reach out to us and we can try to help slot you into a future issue. Otherwise, if you have any sort of articles or newsletter articles that you'd like to publish in the community psychology under the student issues column, you can always reach out to us via email and we can get connected and talk with you about that process. In terms of, we also have a page here for student representative updates, which are last updates from March 27th, but we try to provide updates, regular updates from executive committee meetings, just to help students be aware of what's going on in the organization. We have a page that focuses on our events. So this talks about the student representative monthly event that we host the second to last Monday of every month and on Zoom, as well as a career chat series that we will be returning to in September. And those are on the 8th of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. And we already have our next 2 guest speakers lined up. So we'll have, and we link any previous recordings that we have available on our website and kind of show just the posters so that folks know the history of the series. Major program that the student representatives administer is the student research grant. That cycle, it runs from March-ish for the application or the request for proposals, and with decisions being made in April, and students doing research or getting funded for research that they're conducting basically in the calendar year. We are going to be doing an off-cycle request in September for some of the grant funds that we have lingering from this previous proposal cycle. So be on the lookout for more information about the student research grant. If you have any questions, you can email us at studentreps@scrawl27.org, and we're really excited to be working with you all over the course of this next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aaron. And so next we're going to have 2 speakers next.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Julia Dancis. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll let my co-speaker introduce herself.
Hi everyone. My name is Ola, and first group that I'm going to be talking about today is the COE, which is the Council on Education. The mission of our council is to support and advocate excellence in education and community research and action. And some of the major areas that our group focuses on include information exchange, which we have very interesting news coming up. Julie is going to tell you all about that. 2 is support and advocacy for education programs, as well as recognition of education programs. Some of the activities that we're involved with are raising awareness about graduate and undergraduate programs. So we're constantly keeping our members and potential members, as well as potential students, about the new programs and existing programs. We're also, of course, we have a column where you can read all the different, highlights and activities related to education and community psychology. We have a graduate program survey that we put out every few years just to see how programs are doing, how students are feeling, how program directors are feeling. And then this upcoming survey, we're going to include an undergraduate survey, which is going to be something new to learn about the existing programs that, undergraduate existing programs. So these are just some of the activities, among others, that we're involved with, constantly trying to, again, improve how we educate our academics and practitioners, community members, etc. And so I am going to let Julia now talk about one of the very exciting initiatives that began last year and has been going strong. And Julia is really is the person who is, making it happen. So take it away, Julia.
Thank you. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're calling the Knowledge Hub, which is a repository of resources. Right now, I said earlier, we're in the beta phase or out, whatever phase that is a launch pad into the next more sophisticated, exciting phase. So right now we have a spreadsheet that includes lots of different resources. And I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. So here's our Knowledge Hub spreadsheet, where we have lots of different resources from syllabi to readings, videos, etc., all across a wide variety of topics related to community psychology, including many courses. And so as you can see, as I go down some of these tabs, we're still very new in the process of collecting resources, and we're really excited to get this spreadsheet out and to have folks continue to add their own resources here. But in the meantime, if you are working on your syllabi for the fall and you just need a good class activity, then you can come to the Knowledge Hub and take a look at, okay, what do we have here? I'm teaching a class for undergraduates. It's going to be in person. It's a community psychology course, etc. Okay, let me take a look, and then you can access it like that. And so I will put in the chat both the link to this spreadsheet where anybody can see it, as well as the link to the form. So if you have activities, if you have syllabi, if you have any resources that are related to education or facilitation in the spirit of community psychology, we are hungry to get our hands on those resources so that we can then disseminate them out to the members. And then in our next phase, we're hoping to integrate all these resources into a database on the SCRA website, which will be, as I said before, very sophisticated with search engines and things like that. But right now, we think that this is a really great start and a way for us to save some time and make our sharing of resources a little bit more efficient than just sending out an email to the SCRA listserv saying, hey, does anybody have any readings on this particular topic? So that's where we're at with that. If you have any questions about contributing to the Knowledge Hub, feel free to email me. I'll also put that in the chat. And then really quick, I want to just share accompanying this spreadsheet, we're also having Knowledge Hub brown bags, which will be highlighting different educational resources. And right now I'm still collecting folks who are interested in highlighting their own resources, or folks who are saying, hey, I want to do something like self-grading. Can we have a workshop, or can we discuss this in one of these brown bags? And so if you have a resource, an educational resource that you want to share with the SCRA community, or if there's a topic that you're dying to discuss with other educators in the spirit of community psychology, please reach out to me so that we can get that scheduled. And I think that's it for the Council on Education.
All right, thanks, Julia. And we're going to hear more from what some of our leaders are engaged in multiple groups. Anola is one of those. So she's going to talk about some of the other groups to which she is involved.
Thank you, Amber. I'm happy to talk about community psychology practice and undergraduate settings interest group. Cherie and I are co-chairing that group, and it's a great way to get those of us who are in an undergraduate setting and talk about what we're going through, provide support to each other, generate ideas, and share resources. Some of the things that we're involved with include last year around the biennial, we were discussing this idea of the need for undergraduate mentoring, and it literally was born as a spark, as an idea, and that turned into Building Bridges, which is now a really amazing space for graduate students to come together and support undergraduate students potentially interested in community psychology education. So this has been going strong for a year, and we're just now getting new graduate students taking the lead. So it was led by 2 early careers, which we didn't mind doing that, but we really want to see graduate students stepping up. And so it's fantastic to be able to see that. And the idea is that students who are in undergraduate settings, whatever their career path may be, gets to talk one-on-one pretty much in very small groups with graduate students to pick their brains, to get some ideas about how to apply to graduate school, how to find a niche, how to join a research lab to increase your chances so that you are a stronger candidate when you're ready to apply, to interviewing, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the kind of idea that, again, came out of the undergraduate interest group. Some of the other things that we're planning on doing is providing support to our members, just having a space to share ideas and materials. So we're going to start at the end of this month, getting together and just talking about what does it mean to teach in an undergraduate setting. So again, some of the things that we're doing. And of course, we do have a column as well. So if you are teaching in an undergraduate setting, you have students who are working with you and you would like to highlight your work, let me know, and we'll be happy to highlight that in the next column. Amber, did you want me to talk about Practice Council, or did you want to switch gears?
Keep on going. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm also honored and privileged to be part of the Practice Council. The mission of the Practice Council is to expand the visibility, reach, and impact of community psychology practice through opportunities for connection, support, and professional development. And again, this is the group, this is actually the group that I started with. And what drove me to Practice Council is this idea of knowledge sharing and getting graduate students. I was a graduate student at the time, getting graduate students involved. Every idea was listened to, every person had a voice. And so I really did feel very empowered in that particular group. And I also am fascinated with practice work, especially because I'm in academia. I feel myself as an honorary practitioner, but I am always in awe of that action, A in SCRA. And so I would love to continue raising awareness about the opportunities that students have in terms of becoming practitioners. So one of the things that I have moved into in the past 2 years is becoming a director of 2 master's programs. So our students are particularly interested in that action, working in communities that are not interested in academia. And so I'm learning more and more about opportunities for education, opportunities for connecting with communities, opportunities for careers. And this is kind of a continuation of what the Practice Council stands for. So making sure that we recognize the amazing work that our practitioners do. So if you want to learn more about some of the opportunities, we also have a column. We would love to highlight work of practitioners. But if you want to learn more about it, either of the 2 groups that I talked about, or COE as well, I'm going to put my email in the chats, and you can email me, and I'll be happy to connect you further. If I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody who does. Especially, we were especially looking for ideas for things to do, like the Knowledge Hub was once an idea, and building bridges was once an idea. So if you have an idea, please bring it and we'll make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. And so members, just a heads up, you can participate in multiple spaces in SCRA. So that is also welcome as well. And so we will have our next presenter, Ms. Shude.
Thank you, Amber. Good evening, all. Greetings wherever you are listening from. Can you guys hear me? All right.
Yes,
okay.
Can hear you well.
Thank you. I'm also fortunate, like Oya, to be holding so many, being in so many spaces with SCRA. Maybe I should start with my my role with the interest group. I'm the current co-chair of the SCRA Immigrant Justice, along with Sarah Buckingham, our outgoing co-chair. The mission of the Immigrant Justice is to identify ways in which community psychologists will assist and support new immigrants, refugees at local level, We also make emphasis on ways to sort of educate Scrum member about the opportunity, to collaborate with local, national, and international immigrant and refugee agencies. We have a lot of professional, at least maybe, I'm not sure of the number, close to 100 or more than members worldwide with the Scrum Immigrant Justice. Like all the other people that before me, we also have page where we submit, where we publish article of interest from members all over the world in TCP and the other publication that is coordinated by SCRA. That is for the, currently, I want to advertise that. Currently, we are looking for, because Sarah is outgoing and I'm stepping in as, so we're looking for, say, another person to join me in co-leading that. If you know anyone that's doing immigration work or that would be interested in co-leading the space with me, please send them my way. Thank you for that. And then for the regional, I'm the current regional coordinator. Maybe I should start with, before that, I was the Midwest, I'm outgoing Midwest coordinator, meaning I oversee what is happening in the Midwest, the MPA, the ECOs, talk to the student and like as with other faculty members. Currently, we are planning ECO with the student too. That's for the Midwest. And in terms of the network coordinator, I think that's a bigger role that, what I do is to provide sort of national and international leadership and guidance to the membership, people that are doing, people that are coordinator regional, what is the word? Globally, we have it broken down into, say, international, and then the folks in the US, Northwest, Midwest, and and Western region. I coordinate with their coordinator, collect their, say they want to publish something, I send it to TCP, along other regional event that they are coordinating. I work with them to oversee this. I also bring whatever they need to the executive committee, sort of speaking for them in that role, in that capacity. Yeah, that's what I do with the Aston Network Coordinator. I was jealous when I saw other people presenting and their PowerPoint, because I didn't know I was going to be doing this. So forgive me in a nutshell. That's what I have for now.
Thank you, Mashoud. And now we will pass it on over to Chris.
Hi, it's good to see everybody. It's fun to hear what's going on in the different corners of SCRA, and it's also fun to hear how much is going on. So this is exciting. I'm chairing the Research Council. The Research Council is one of those things that focuses on kind of the air we breathe in our graduate programs, the community psych research, and it took quite a while before we realized that it might also be helpful to be organized. So we've been in existence for about 5 years, since 2017. Our main focus has been to nurture community psychology research, and we realize that is in some ways an important core of the field, and needs to be nurtured. And we thought one of the ways to do that most effectively would be to take our limited resources and focus them on faculty on the tenure track who have not yet gotten tenure in doctoral and other graduate programs in community psychology. Because when a faculty member does become tenured, they have that really the opportunity to devote a whole career to community psychological research and to the mentoring of future community psychologists who are practitioners and academics and both. So we started in 2018 the Research Scholar Program, which now has 5 cohorts of research scholars who have a 1 or 2 year appointment. And in that time, many of them receive some modest research funding from SCRA. All of them receive mentoring from a senior community psychologist, usually in their area of research interest, and they get together on a regular basis to share with one another and provide each other information and support and collegiality. And they also have professional development programs where we have leading community psychologists come and share information about mentoring or grant writing or other aspects of professional development. And from that program, every faculty member who has sought promotion and tenure has obtained it so far. So that's 3 or 4, I think four people at this point. And the rest are still, well, and some have opted to go in other directions, but the rest by and large are continuing faculty in tenure track positions. So we're happy with kind of how that program has developed. The second initiative has been presenting professional development sessions at Biennial on navigating promotion and tenure as a BIPOC faculty member, navigating grant writing with grant funders presenting on what they're looking for when they review a grant, and those have pieces we have written up and have included in our column. I think everybody is contributing to TCP, which is great, and that's been one of the things we contribute. Another thing has been the kind of introduction of the research scholars, and this upcoming issue of TCP in the fall will have a description of the 6 scholars who have come in this year. And this year we're particularly excited because we have 2 scholars who have immigrated from Asia to the United States and are in tenure track positions at a couple of different universities. We have one who's immigrated from Canada to the United States. We have another from Lima, Peru, who is at the Pontifical Catholic University there, and another who is Italian and who has studied in Portugal and now is teaching in England and is a recent recipient of the SCRA Dissertation Award. So we're delighted to have this global spread of involvement. And previously, we've had Canadians and United States folks involved, but this is the first time that we've had this degree of breadth. The council itself includes 10 members, a student, a postdoc, 2 junior faculty, two mid-career faculty, 2 senior faculty, a chair, and the editor of AJCP. And Amber has been gracing us with her presence as well, which is great. We're looking for we're planning to do more sessions at the biennial when that comes up next year, and we've had some inquiries about support that we can provide to faculty who are in other contexts besides you know, being faculty in graduate programs in community psych, and we're looking to reach out in that direction as well. So that's, I think that kind of summarizes. We're also working on with the committee on decolonizing community psychology competencies, and thinking, you know, in a new way about who we are as community psychologists in the post George Floyd world, trying to make more sense of that. So I think that touches at least the highlights. And if people have questions, folks tend to serve for 2 years or so. And so we're always in the process of looking for new members, especially folks from different graduate programs in community psych. So if you know folks who are interested, please let me know.
Thanks, Chris. Well, thank you everyone for joining this session and sharing what you've been up to. I hope everyone had an opportunity to participate in our first welcome week. And if not, definitely check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone.